What's that coming over the hill? Is it a monster? Is it a... Hello, everybody, and welcome back to That's Football. We've just had Manchester City play Liverpool in a 1-1 draw. Bit of a quick turnaround, bit of refreshments, and we're back ready to go. But it's not just about Newcastle Chelsea today. It's the 3 p.m. games in the Premier League. And we're gonna. That was a loud and we're going. Don't you just love a lovely cup of tea? I think when you hit 30, nice cup of tea in the afternoon, lovely stuff. There are other games to keep you up to date with this afternoon. Of course, we've got some interesting stuff going on, maybe in your fancy Premier League as well. We've got Manchester City, Liverpool. Obviously, I did well with Haaland and Salah. We've also got Burnley playing West Ham. We've got Luton playing Crystal Palace. We've got Newcastle Chelsea, which is going to be the featured one we keep an eye on. Nottingham Forest against Brighton. Sheffield United against Bournemouth. So lots to keep you updated with. Lots you can keep us updated with as well. Massive game, of course, for Eddie Howe and Newcastle. They're welcoming back Isaac. Let me just get you the teams on the screen for you. Well, we just saw Chelsea there, but let's go Newcastle first of all. They have got Isaac back, which I think is big for them. We'll have a look at the Premier League table in a moment. But Pope, Trippier, Lascelles, Shaw, Livramento, Miley, not Cyrus, Bruno, Guimaraes, Joel Lintel, Almiron, Isaac, and Gordon. And then the Chelsea side is Sanchez, James, Thiago Silva, Badiashile, Cucurella, Ugochukwu, Fernandes, Avenzo, Palmer, Gallagher, Sterling, Jackson, and Caicedo is actually on the bench for Chelsea. I think that the simple shift of having Isaac back for Chelsea, for Newcastle, I think it really does make a big difference to this whole context of this game. As you can see, Chelsea have got 16 points. Newcastle have got 20. Even if Chelsea win, they're still behind Newcastle. If Newcastle win, they're 7 points ahead of Chelsea. So it's another massive game in this welcome back to the football Premier League weekend. And the connotations of it are really, really interesting. I do fancy Chelsea to get something from this game, but the absence of one player for one team and the addition of another player for another team, I think really does make it quite interesting in the sense that Caicedo not being in for Chelsea and Isaac being in for Newcastle may well swing it one other way. But I'm going to go with Chelsea. I'm going to go with Chelsea get something from this game. I think they have to at some point, but let's not underestimate Newcastle at St James's Park. They're a fantastic side, and I really don't think we should be underestimating that. I'm just loving having football back, and I'm loving, I was going to say I'm loving having you lot back, but I've got you lot back. I don't need that. We've been doing stuff over the international break, of course, but yeah, the snooker's on as well. I'm loving this weekend. This weekend's getting better and better. The UK Championships have started. I do like snooker. It's a little niche of Goldbridge, and I do like it. Let me get everything back. Okay. Lovely stuff. Nkunku's not on the bench for Chelsea, no. Their bench for Chelsea includes the likes of Disasi, Mudryk, Madueke, Broha, Caicedo, Colwill, Petrovic, Maatsen, Matos. So many good players, Chelsea, even with an injury crisis. Not so much for Newcastle. Dubravka, Dumet, Ritchie, Karius, Gillespie, Diallo, Murphy, Enduini, and Parkinson. Not a lot of depth on that Newcastle bench, if we're being completely honest and fair. The work ethic is mental, says Les. Well, look, the Premier League being back, I wouldn't normally be doing a stream, but Newcastle-Chelsea is such a big game. It should, really, the big thing for me is that this is not a 12:30 and 5:30 or a Sunday game. It was only when we were talking about it on the podcast that I thought, well, I'd sort of missed it amongst the 3 o'clock games, and I was like, this is a massive game. It is. Look at that league table next to me. It's absolutely massive. Newcastle win this. They get themselves back amongst it for the top 4. Chelsea win it. They start closing in on those teams ahead of them. It's a big game to win, and it's an even bigger game to lose, I think. And I'm very interested to see which way it's going to pan out. Chelsea have been very, very impressive against Man City before the international break. Can they keep it going? Apparently there's a goal already coming in, and it's a home goal, and it's not for Brighton. This is a tough pick. Forest are at home to Brighton, and I mean, Brighton, I said on the podcast yesterday, I worry about Brighton falling off this season. The injuries, they're just not, they've had a bit of bad luck again. Well, they've had a bit of bad luck here in the first 4 minutes of the game. It's a Langer, and it's a Forest goal. They are 1-0 up against Brighton. They are the first Premier League scorers in the 3 o'clock games. And Anthony Elanga, who's having a great time at Forest since he left Manchester United, has put them 1-0 up against Brighton today. I mean, the interesting thing is, with regards to Brighton, is just what team did De Zerbi pick today? Well, it was Verbruggen, Veltman, Van Heck, Dunk, Lamptey, Gross, Gilmore, Adringa, Lallana, Fati, and Ferguson. And they're 1-0 down in the first 5 minutes against Nottingham Forest there. Chelsea are on the attack. You've got to really question Nicholas Jackson there. He's got himself into a position where it's a 3v3. He does a bit of a skill move. It's on his left foot. The chance is there. He doesn't take it. Yeah, he's got to do better in that position there. More composure. But Loop says Chelsea are looking sharp. Do I still think Liverpool can win it? The game's over, Freeze. Finished, mate. It's 1-1. It's a draw. Lauren says Trent shushing the City section is incredible. I don't think it's incredible that Trent went to the Man City fans and shushed them. I think it's ironic. I mean, it's not like they're noisy anyway. They're already quiet. I mean, he's basically talking their language. They probably applauded him. Yeah, we love to be quiet. In fact, you're talking to plastic chairs, Trent. I'm listening to my favourite club, Crystal Palace, on the Palace app, says Tots. Crystal Palace today are playing against Luton at Luton. You'd expect a Palace win. Everyone expects to beat Luton. That might not be the way it ends up. I've played the game. Jeffter says Chelsea are going to win today. I've got a feeling that Chelsea are going to get something today. Yes. Do I think Villa will beat Spurs? That's our next watch-along tomorrow, Alfie. And it's a cracking game. Spurs have got to start picking up the points. They can't hide behind injuries. Bam, bam, ba-dam, ba-dam, bam, bam, ba-da, ba-dam, bam, bam. How many injuries have Newcastle got? Well, I know they've got. Well, Tonali's not injured, is he? They've got Byrne, Botman, Wilson. That's off the top of my head. Here, I'll give you their actual injury list. So they are missing Tonali suspended. Murphy, I think, is actually on the bench today. Dan Byrne, Callum Wilson, Botman, Harvey Barnes, Longstaff, Isaac's back now, Willock, Targay. Yeah, so they're missing 4 or 5 first teamers. In fairness, though, Chelsea have got a lot of injuries. Fofana, Lavia, Chilwell, Nkunku, Chalobah, Chukwuemeka. I mean, they're starting to get back. They are starting to do better now. Really, for Chelsea, Lavia and Chilwell and Nkunku, isn't it, really? First goal of the Premier League went to Anthony Elanga, 1-0 at home to Brighton. Nottingham Forest lead 0-0 in all the other games at the moment. Man City fans are like John Cena. You can't see them, says Jack. Tonali's got a year ban, Array, for the gambling charges. I just think it's a fantastic Premier League weekend all round. You know, there's so many. Part of that is because we're excited to have it back, but I just think it's some fascinating games. This Newcastle-Chelsea game's fascinating. I think Brighton Forest is fascinating if Brighton lose again. Arsenal with the chance of going top of the league at 5:30. Goldbridge on TalkSport with the Goldbridge show at 7:30. Tomorrow we've got Villa at Spurs and Man United at Everton. Just fantastic. And then the Champions League is massive, certainly for Newcastle and Man United. So there's loads going on. Loads going on. Absolutely incredible. Absolutely fantastic. I was actually looking at next weekend to see if it's anywhere near as good as this weekend. And the honest answer is no. There's no 12:30 game next Saturday for a start. 3 o'clock's Arsenal, Wolves, Brentford, Luton, Burnley, Sheffield United, Forest, Everton at 5:30. Newcastle, Man United at 8 o'clock is a good game, but 8 o'clock on a Saturday. Sunday, there's a lot of games. Man City, Spurs, Liverpool play Fulham, Chelsea, Brighton's quite interesting. But there are midweek games coming up that week as well. Forest, Man United play Chelsea on the Wednesday. Yeah, the worst Saturday I've looked at is... Oh, I'll tell you what, can I just tell everybody before it happens, I've got Cole Palmer in my FPL team. The worst Saturday coming up is Saturday the 16th of December. If you want to go and do some Christmas shopping and get some brownie points with your girlfriend, friends, parents, whatever, Saturday the 16th of December is a great Saturday to just, when football is on, but get yourself some brownie points. Like, literally book Saturday the 16th of December and say, the football's on, I really want to watch it, but I want to do something with you. And then when you're out with them, you go, oh, look, the football's on, but I'm with you. Why am I saying this? Listen to this Saturday Premier League fixtures. No 12:30 game again. Bournemouth, Luton, Chelsea, Sheffield United, Man City, Palace, Newcastle, Fulham, and Burnley, Everton. Get your coat, we're going out. Sunday's good, Liverpool, Man United. At least it's not the international break, says Jamie. Oh, yeah. But I think we've been blessed this weekend. We've got some really good fixtures. What we should have done is swapped the 16th of December for this Saturday, because we'd have watched any old shit this Saturday, and then we could have had Liverpool, Man City in about 3 weeks' time when they've got all their rhythm and chemistry. I think that's the only problem with the game on Saturday. Why is Man City against Brentford postponed? I presume Man City are playing in that World Club shit, aren't they? Eric says that sounds like a Saturday off for you then, Mark. Yeah, I think I might very well take that Saturday off. In fact, I messaged my dad. Oh, I'd love to see you at Christmas, and come on the 16th. I don't care about the football. I just want to see you. Oh, I've not even looked what the games are. I'll tell you what, it could be Man United, Liverpool for all I know. Just come down. I'll put you first. Little does he know. Cross comes in, headed away by Chelsea. Spurs missing 6 first-team players for tomorrow. I'm not feeling optimistic, says Spencer. Yeah, well, Spurs have got 2 really big games, haven't they? You look at that league table. I think Spurs are vulnerable. I really do. Look at Spurs' next couple of games. Villa and Man City. Lose both those games. Well, Villa have gone past you. And then there is a little bit of a gap between Spurs and 6th. 5 points. It could disappear in the next 2 games for Spurs. So they've got to put something in place tomorrow. Villa haven't been travelling that well. I wouldn't write Spurs off tomorrow. But their next few games are Villa at home, Man City away, West Ham at home, Newcastle at home, Forest away, Everton at home, Brighton away. I mean, they could lose all of those. They could win all of those. Is there a reason why there are 3 international breaks in the first 3 months and then there are none? It seems very weird to not spread it out, says Bart. I wish they did spread it out. I wish they did. One of the big positives I had about the World Cup was that we only had 1 international break before Christmas. Those 3... the wife always says to me, why are you always in a good mood in late November? And I'm like, well, I do like Christmas, but I just love the fact that there's no more international breaks. I love getting past that 3rd one. We've got a goal at Bramall Lane. Is it the Blades? No, they're blunt. It's a goal for Bournemouth, and it's a goal for Tavernier. He's beaten the keeper. That's what normally happens when a goal goes in. Bournemouth lead at Bramwell Lane. Sheffield United against Bournemouth. It's a bit of a relegation battle, this one. It's a bit of one. And it's a goal at Newcastle as well. We've got a goal for Isaac. He's back in the team and he's back in the goals. Isaac scores for Chelsea. No, he doesn't. He scores for Newcastle. Isaac back amongst it. And Newcastle, do not write them down. Do not write them off. This is a fantastic start for Newcastle. And, well. Miley, who is this Miley? Miley Cyrus. He looks about 10. He looks about 10 years old. I don't know who this Miley is, but I think he might have had a little bit to do with this. No, he didn't. Or did he? Well, Isaac's onside, that's for sure. Miles onside. What's Cucurella doing here? He's 17 years old. He was only 17 years old. Did he get the assist? Did he get the assist? What a pass from Miley Cyrus. And it's 1-0. Isaac is never going to score an easier goal than that. What are Chelsea doing defensively there? Cucurella switching off, trying to play offside. And Isaac makes it 1-0. This is great for the game. An early goal is a great game for the goal. Miley Cyrus with the assist. We don't know much about him. We don't know much about him. We're about to find out. Cyrus. No, it's Miley. I've just searched Miley. I've just searched Cyrus. Miley, Newcastle. Well, let me tell you all about Miley. Lewis Miley is an English professional footballer who plays as a midfielder for England under 19s. He's only 17 years of age. He was 17 in May. He was only 17 years old, and there's not a lot to know about him. He joined the Newcastle Academy at the age of 7, made his first debut in a friendly against Al Hilal in 2022. He won the club's Jack Hickson Award for Most Promising Youngster in November 2022. And he looks like he is a decent footballer. He was called up to represent England for the 2022 Nordic Under-17 Football Championships. And he plays in midfield. Well, maybe a star is born. Unfortunately, with a name like that, you can't be called Miley and have a star is born, because unfortunately, Miley Cyrus is a bigger star than you and a more appealing star than you. But there's a new player here, and his name's Jack Miley, or as we call him, Miley Cyrus. It's 1-0. He's 17. He's got an assist. Imagine how he feels at the moment. So we've got 3 goals in the 3 o'clock games at the moment. Bournemouth are leading 1-0 at Bramall Lane. Newcastle are now leading 1-0 against Chelsea. And obviously, Alanga scored for Forest to make it 1-0 early doors at the City Ground against Brighton. So goals in the Premier League is what we want. But Newcastle leading here. Never write Newcastle off at St James's Park. Never write them off at St James's Park. Wow. He came in like a wrecking ball and he wrecked that Chelsea's defence to assist. Don't write Newcastle off. We write them off, don't we? They've started off well here. Very well. Chelsea on the ropes. Newcastle using that amazing home crowd, which we know can be so encouraging. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. We're closing in on 63,000. We're only a couple of hundred away. Get involved. Bottom right-hand corner. Not United Stand. That's football. Everybody's welcome on here. Daily content for you. Watch-alongs when they're on. But an early goal for Newcastle really does give Chelsea a test. Chelsea fans, talk to me. Talk to me, Goose. What are you talking about? You must be thinking, 4-4 at Stamford Bridge. Brilliant performance against the title holders, Man City. But I said this about Chelsea. They had a bad start to the season, losing against teams they should be beating. And the problem was, as much as Chelsea have improved recently, their biggest issue is the fixtures they have ahead of them. They're going through a hard period. Newcastle today, Brighton next Sunday, Man United after that, Everton away after that. So it's a tough run of fixtures for Chelsea. It's a tough run of fixtures. It really is. Any other goals, Mark? No. 1-0 to Bournemouth at Sheffield United, 1-0 to Newcastle against Chelsea, and 1-0 to Nottingham Forest at home to Brighton. Can you show us your FPL, says Muff. I was going to say, can you show us your Muff, but that would be absolutely filth, and we don't want any of that. Who's this Miley kid? Amazing assists, says S. Madison. His name's Jack Miley. He's 17 years of age, and he's come through the Newcastle Academy, and he's doing a great job. But Chelsea need to settle here. They've got no excuses, says Loose Bolt. They need to improve. Well, the stupid thing, well, stupid's a strong word. The silly thing is for Chelsea is that at 0-0, they've got a 3v3. Jackson's got the ball dead centre. I think he had Sterling and probably Palmer to his right. He does a step over, creates the space on the edge of the box. The shot's there on his left foot, and he completely and utterly gets it right. It's Lewis Miley. It's Lewis Miley. Sorry. Lewis Miley is his name, not Jack. Jack! I'm thinking about that bloody door in the Titanic again. What do you think about Jeremy Doku, says Romain. I think Pep will turn him into a very, very good player. But he talking about Newcastle, he reminds me of St. Maximin in relation to his final ball. He's a dangerous player, but they just need to work on his final ball. But it's a bit like when United bought Ronaldo. Thank God United never got Cucurella. What a liability, says Tyrone. It's a good start from Newcastle here. It's a very good start for Newcastle. And let me just tell you this, Chelsea fans, you might not like what I'm about to say. If you were to lose this game, you would be 7 points behind Newcastle, who are 6th. That's a big old gap. A big old gap. United, by the way, United fans will say can't start the youngsters because there's too much pressure. Absolute blasphemy, says Stuart Walker. Max says, who's the bigger club, Chelsea or Newcastle? Big debate. Well, you know what I do? Bigger club debate. Paul, Chelsea or Newcastle? Who's the bigger club? Well, you started it, and I'm going to finish it. Well, you lot are. Get your votes in. Thanks, everyone, for getting involved. Oh, I'm just loving having football back. I love this time of year. Late November. Cold, dark nights. Football on. Love it. Reminds me of when I used to go and watch the football as a kid. Here we go, though. Raheem Sterling, he's in a 1v1. He's going to have to go himself. He's messed that up as well. He's messed that up. Lack of composure by Chelsea in the final third there. Sterling should have played the pass, didn't take the pass. Trippier's going to get a yellow card for that, and it's nothing more than a yellow. Chelsea are the bigger club, by the way, in my opinion. I've let you vote. No recency bias. Chelsea's the bigger club. But it's a good free kick position for Chelsea here. Oh, can I just say thoughts and prayers with Chelsea fans. Having the unfortunate task of having to play on Christmas Eve. Against Wolves. But free kick for Chelsea here. It's a good position. Raheem Sterling's going to take the free kick. Oh, it's delightful. What a goal. What a goal by Raheem Sterling. That is incredible. He won the free kick. He's whipped it over the bar into the top corner. Pope just stares at it, and you know when a keeper does that, there's nothing they can do because it's pure brilliance. And that's Chelsea right back in this game, and that's exactly what Chelsea needed to do because it's been an inspirational start at the St James's Park from Newcastle. They've been all over Chelsea. They broke away. They've won a free kick. It's not right in the top corner. To be fair, it's quite about a metre in, but Pope's just not moved. He's not anticipating it. And it's a lovely free kick from Raheem Sterling. That's a message to Southgate, which basically is swivel on it. Strings to Sterling's bow. Well, free kicks. What a hit. What a free kick. And it's 1-1 here. And I tell you what, this game is already a game that should have been on at 12:30 today. Because this is lost in the 3 o'clock games. And I looked at this yesterday and I went, why is this game not a featured game? Because it's absolutely fantastic. 1-1, 2 goals in the first 20 minutes. And we're in for a treat here. We're in for a real treat. Massive goal for Chelsea. They'll be so pleased, Pochettino there, to get that goal back so quickly with Newcastle having all of the momentum. So it's back to square one now, and all that momentum, as I say, from Newcastle has to start again, whereas Chelsea will grow in confidence now, and they've certainly looked dangerous on the break so far, Chelsea. And somehow Sterling isn't called up to England, says Omar. Stupid thing is, if Raheem Sterling went and played in Saudi Arabia in front of 500 people, he'd probably get called up. Buviak says that Pope should have done better and the foul shouldn't have been given, but I think we'll take the lead back. Well, it's 1-1. It's 1-1. We've got a goal. We've got a goal for Brighton. Kane or the Undertaker, Mark, says Paul. Depends what they're doing. Depends what they're doing. We have a goal coming in for Brighton here. 1-1. Evan Ferguson! He's in my Fantasy Premier League team. We've got liftoff. We've got liftoff. We've got liftoff. Evan's the guy. Goldbridge is the guy. FPL 1-1. Yes, it matters more when you play FPL. What else have I got him in? Did I put him in? Did I put him in Goldbridge as well? I bet I didn't. I've got Calvert-Lewin, Hwang Hee-chan, Jesus, Alvarez, Watkins. Yeah. But I have got him in my FPL. I don't know whether I've told you. Evan Ferguson. 1-1. Newcastle have just had a massive chance as well. Joel Linton on the back post. Oh, he's missed an apps. I don't know whether there might have been a foul. There may well have been. Oh, it's a big miss. It's a big miss, that. What's that coming over the hill? Is it a monster? No, it's Joel Linton and he's just missed a sitter. Fancy Premier League. Love it. I'm doing well at the moment. I'm doing really well at the moment. Haaland scored. Salah got an assist. Who else have I got? How are you all doing on your Fantasy Premier League? Because this is about as good as it's going to get for me. But I'm just going to have a quick look at my team. I got 24 points. I've got Ferguson and Haaland. I've got Watkins tomorrow. Saka later. I've got Cole Palmer. I've got Son tomorrow. Harry Maguire. Saliba later. Colwell's not even starting. So I have got Lascelles. And I've got Areola, who is in goal. Are West Ham playing at 3 o'clock? Yeah, West Ham are playing Burnley. Oh, I forgot about that. Lovely. Lovely stuff. Alisi or Eze, says Tots. I'd say Eze. Chelsea are the bigger club. 76% of you voted on that one. 24% for Newcastle. Here we go then. I don't really like these bigger club polls, but I'm just going to get involved in it for a one-off. Bigger club. Arsenal or Liverpool? Who's the bigger club? Arsenal or Liverpool? Nkunku's not playing, Rhoda, and he's not on the bench either. He jinxing Maguire, Mark? No, he normally plays well against Everton, and he's all I could afford. He's really cheap on FPL. So that's why I brought him in. I needed to get rid of Matoma. Liverpool are dominating this vote. Jack says, Mark, come on, I'm a United fan, but Liverpool are miles bigger than Arsenal. I haven't given you my answer yet. I'm not saying I'm wrong. We've just done Chelsea, Newcastle, and that was a debate, apparently. Who the fuck is clicking Arsenal, says Omar. Arsenal fans, probably. Yeah, Liverpool have won that one. Coventry are beating Millwall if you give a shit. Modern Warfare 3 is awful, says Warren G. Remember when you said Alanga isn't Premier League quality, says Paul. Paul, there's a statement that I live by. When they leave Man United, I don't give a shit. So I don't really need to say anything. Joel Linton channeling its inner Voot Veghorst there, says Colin. This game's cracking. It could go either way. It really, really could. Chelsea and Newcastle both. Newcastle probably doing more of the attacking, but Chelsea looking reasonably good on the break. Notts County are losing 1-0 at Wimbledon. How are Birmingham doing? I don't know. Birmingham are playing Sheffield Wednesday at home, and it's 0-0. There's Chelsea on the break again. Options. Palmer, he's in my team. Please score. Oh, he's had a pass. Oh, that was good. I think it was Enzo Fernandez with the shot and a good save by Pope. What a save, says Mario Williams. It was Enzo Fernandez, teed up by Reece James, runs onto it on the edge of the box, hits it well, and it ends up going near post, and it's a good save by Pope. Stu says, Alanga's found his level, that's all. Mate, you know, he's never good enough to play for Manchester United. Never. Which says a lot. Are you going to do Brentford versus Arsenal as a watch-along? I can't, mate, because I've got the Talk Sport show at 7:30, so you can join me for that on YouTube. Oh, I tell you what, header. I think it was Chelsea who did it. I think it's Badashil who gets up, but it's straight at Pope. I'm doing Spurs tomorrow, yes, and United tomorrow. Ali says, I like these streams, very cosy. That's what it's all about. We want a cosy atmosphere. You'll sleep tonight, Mark. A lot of watch-alongs, mate. I did a 15-hour stream last week, non-stop. So this is easy work. Do I think Luke Shaw will start tomorrow? Yes, I do. Apparently, Kobe Mainoo is going to start tomorrow. Prod by Palmarius says, how is Tim Sherwood employed by Sky? He's obviously got good agents, hasn't he? Or good mates, because he talks absolute arse. As I said on the podcast this week, I think Tim Sherwood probably wakes up in the morning and forgets he has to brush his teeth. His brain works in mysterious ways. I think you two should change the lyrics to he moves in mysterious ways to he thinks in mysterious ways. I just don't get it. Don't get it. Cox says, I want to see Mainoo, Mount and Fernandez. We won't be seeing Mount. He's injured for a month. Are you going to do any Deitch impressions tomorrow? Oh, it'd be rude not to. Be rude not to. Who's a bigger club, Villa or Newcastle, says Jack. I think I know the answer to this one, but I will let you vote. You know what I still can't get over from the international break? How people say a giraffe would beat a lion. Absolute bollocks. I've never heard such crap in all my life. We were talking about wildlife because I'm an expert, and people actually voted that a giraffe would beat a lion. All you've got to do is avoid its back feet. It'd beat a thick lion. Lenny the stupid Pratt lion who walks behind it and gets kicked in the head. But I tell you what, a fight doesn't have to last 10 rounds. It can last 10 hours. If I'm a bloody lion, I'm just going to say to that giraffe, at some point, you've got to put your head on the ground and drink. And when you do, I'm ripping your throat out. As if a giraffe... I mean, I worry about society. A giraffe would beat a lion. There's another idiot in the chat. Chris says a giraffe would easily win. I've got to know. I've got to know how this happens. You know what it is? It's because they're tall. Right, a giraffe can't kick forwards, and it can only kick backwards. So what if a lion goes in between its leg and starts munching on its chuff? Or if it's a male, its knob. It's soon going to fall down. It's not going to stand there, is it? Going, well, I'm safe while I keep my neck up high. Chew away. I'm quite enjoying it. I just despair at people. Lions have got big mouths and big claws. And just because if a giraffe kicks a lion, it's dead. Yes, I agree. But that's only if the lion's stupid enough to go behind it. Just jump on its chest or back or something. I can't believe it. I panic. I panic about this nonsense. I will do the poll in a minute. It's close between Villa and Newcastle. Who's the bigger club? Oh, Conor Gallagher. Conor Gallagher. That should have been 2-1. He's got it in the box. And he's not hit it very well. There's no other goals in any other games at the moment. It's still 0-0 between Burnley and West Ham. It's still 0-0 between Luton and Crystal Palace. It's still 1-1 Newcastle-Chelsea. Brighton and Forest at Forest is still 1-1. And Bournemouth are winning at Sheffield United as it stands. As it stands. Don't forget, if you want to get score updates, download the OneFootball app for free. Links in the description, or you can scan that QR code in the top left-hand corner. Get all your latest breaking football news, all your latest score updates on the OneFootball app for free. It's on Apple and Android. Plus, we give you the stats powered by OneFootball, but they have the individual stats on the players as well. So if you're interested in how an individual player is playing, check it out on the OneFootball app. Here we go. You lot should start a Honey Badger fan club. A Honey Badger this. Honey Badger can do 20 press-ups. Honey Badger could score a hat-trick in a Champions League final. Honey Badger would be the best porn star in the world. Honey Badgers are fearless. Honey Badger, says Raz, are the most fearless. They will take anything on regardless of size. I'll just kick it in the face. Just going to kick it in the face, Raz. I'm going to Google a Honey Badger. Right? I don't even need a weapon. I'll just kick it in the face. I will kick it in the face. It's about as big as a dog. And I think honey badgers are basically just scavengers. I'll go down Tesco. I'll get a jar of honey. I'll go there. I'll leave it out. It'll come to the jar. It'll sniff it, and I'll run along and kick it in the head. Don't phone the RSPCA. We're talking about a honey badger that's apparently going to try and kill me. You know, it's survival of the fittest, really. I probably will kick it in the balls as well, Martin. I won't. Nothing's off the table. If that honey badger thinks it's eating me or beating me in a fight, I don't care if they're vicious. I've got steel toe caps. I'll say, bite on that, bitch. Oh, your teeth are falling out. Not so tough, are you now? Right, I'm bringing the guns out. My fists. Not my left hand, though. If I punch someone with that, I think I'd be crying. It's in a lot of pain at the moment. 7 minutes to go to half time. Mark versus Honey Badger is the next celebrity boxing match, says Chris. I bet they can't jump as well. I'm good at jumping. Crinell, you're right. I might just put my football boots on and slide tackle it, 2-footed. I don't care if I get a red card. VAR, my arse. Newcastle and Chelsea has settled down a little bit now. I think we had a ferocious first 20 minutes, but it has settled down a little bit now. And who's that presenter on Soccer Saturday? I've never seen her in my life. Jackson or Veghorst, says Michael. I'd put Jackson ahead of that. Right, Aston Villa have won the vote of the bigger club debate. Who is the bigger club? Aston Villa, 52%. Newcastle, 48%. Well done, Aston Villa. I agree with that. I think Villa at this moment in time are the bigger club. Apparently there's a penalty coming in at Burnley for Burnley. This is not good news for me and my areola, who is my goalkeeper. I don't have an areola because that's... I don't think... Do men have areolas? I think it's the bit around the nipple. Goldbridge ball with its head, says Gems. Thanks, Gems. And... no penalty. No penalty. There's no penalty. Good. Ramsdale's playing today for Arsenal because Raya can't play. I know this from the podcast because I put Raya in goal for my Goldbridge game. And loads of people tell me you can't do that, which I can't. So I've been allowed by panel to put Ramsdale in goal. Daniel's just asked us for a good poll here. Either or. Get ready. Darwin Nunez or Alvarez. This could be really close. It could be a landslide either way. I don't know. I don't know. Get voting. Newcastle on the attack here. Good play by Gordon. Wins a free kick. Free kick for Newcastle. More people going with Alvarez. Hi, Mark. Who's the best player now? Says Catty. Where are we looking? Local park? Premier League? This game? Zebra versus a camel would be a rubbish fight, Warren G. I mean, that would be a... You know, we've done polar bear against lion. Good free kick, hit the bar. I think Sanchez might have got a free finger on it. Trippier a crossbar free kick. I think it just hit the bar. I don't think there's any hand on this from Sanchez. No, it's just thuds the bar there. Shouldn't be a corner. And it wasn't. Yeah, who wants to watch a camel fight a zebra? Bloody hell. What are they going to do? Lick themselves to death? Be a rubbish. I tell you what, it would be, if it was a fight to the death, it'd probably take forever and it would be bloody boring. I mean, actually, thinking about it, death by zebra ain't going to be nice, is it? It's going to get trampled. At least man-sized praying mantis would kill anything, Luke. Let's be honest. They are lethal, they are. Orca versus a shark. Orca wins. They beat great white sharks all the time. In fact, they rip their livers out. Catherine versus Five Guys. You'd enjoy that, Faris. Which way do we think this is going to go? Newcastle with this home advantage are a threat. Chelsea basically looking to hit on the counter. Joel Linton, wild shot there. I probably would have shot myself, but it was wild and it's gone out for a goal kick. Any other goals going on at the moment? No, Premier League's gone a bit quiet for the last 20 minutes or so. I don't think we've had a goal since the Brighton goal, have we? Bournemouth scored quite early. Actually, the Sterling goal might have been the last goal. Still 0-0 between Burnley and West Ham. Still 0-0 between Luton and Palace. Newcastle 1-1 as we know with Chelsea. Forest 1-1 with Brighton. And Sheffield United are still losing to Bournemouth. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. Trying to get up to 63,000. We're only 80 away. Bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. You're very welcome on That's Football, as always. Look up Japanese giant wasp. They're overpowered, says Liam. What was that one that somebody told me about before? Was it a spider wasp? Oh, God. Nature, my God. Endish, thanks for your super chats. Thanks for your super chats, by the way. Really appreciate them. Who's the best goalkeeper? Cal the Dragon, XQC or Ramsdale? Says Son. Well, it's Ramsdale. I'm not gonna joke around here. I actually think Arsenal will get a clean sheet today. Tarantula Hawk, that's what it's called, Benny. Thank you. Rhino versus Hippo. We've done it. Apparently a Rhino wins. Will. British guy says that Pep has just said in an interview he wanted more noise from the City fans today. I mean, obviously Pep Guardiola is a hero, a legend of Manchester City, but he does call the fans out a lot. He's louder than they are. He always says that. They're not. I don't know what that's all about. Maybe the stadium's too big. Maybe they've got a lot of fans that are, you know, glory hunters. I don't know. Oh, Birmingham are losing 1-0 to Sheffield Wednesday. Not looking good for Rooney or Will. Alvarez has won this vote, by the way. Who do you prefer, Darwin Núñez or Alvarez? I prefer Darwin Núñez, you know. But 58% of you have gone with Alvarez. We'll end that poll. SLJ. SL Jay says, people are sleeping on Villa for a title charge. Well, it's a big game for Villa tomorrow, isn't it? Who would you pick, Rooney or Haaland, says Jace? At the moment, Haaland. Have you seen Rooney? He wouldn't be very good now. I think Joel Linton's about to get booked here. We're nearly at half-time, but it's not quite half-time yet. Yeah, it's fair play, yellow card. He sort of grabs Reece James round their head. I quite like this. It's not football related, but I'm going to do it. Film related. We are topical here. Pulp Fiction or Gladiator? Which is the better film? I'm happy to wander away from football on some of the polls. Animal related, film related, even music related. We will not do anything... we're not going to do like best sex position or anything like that. That's just, you know, there's levels to this game. Who would win in a fight, Roy Keane or Duncan Ferguson, says Mal. I think even Roy Keane would admit it would be Duncan Ferguson. Got a couple of goals coming in. Just before half time. We've got a goal for Brighton, and it's a goal for Pedro. Pedro has scored for Brighton right on half time. I don't even know. I thought he was on the bench. But Bournemouth have made it 2-0 as well. It's half time between Chelsea and Newcastle. What a half of football it's been. But it's also 2-0. Kluivert for Bournemouth. Right on half time. 2-0. There'll be no way back for Sheffield United there. But it's 2-0 to Bournemouth. And it's 2-1 to Brighton. Having gone 1-0 down at the City Ground early for Elanga, João Pedro has made it 2-1 to Brighton right at half-time. Fati came off after 21 minutes. Gross with the assist on both goals. If you've got Pascal Gross in your fancy Premier League team, you're doing very, very well. He assisted Ferguson. He assisted Pedro, who came on for Fati. Probably another injury problem for Fati there, let's be honest. But it is 2-1 to Brighton right at half-time there. And Kluivert scored as well for Bournemouth to make it 2-0 there. So there we go. Half-time. Give us your thoughts on that. Chelsea got to be pretty happy to get back to 1-1 quickly after an early Newcastle goal for Isaac. But, you know, maybe the draw is the result that's probably... most likely. As I said, it's a big game to lose and it's a big game to win for either of these teams in relation to a very, very, very difficult December coming up for everybody. There's so many games. I think before Christmas there's 6 or 7 games for everyone, isn't there? So there's loads and loads going on. Very close in our poll between Gladiator and Pulp Fiction, which are films. Get a vote in on that. Mark, can you unblock my account? It's 66 Gaming. Been for absolutely years, it says Andy Bull. I don't, mate. It's very hard. It's very difficult to unblock people. I think on YouTube when you've been blocked for years, because I don't even know where they are to unblock them. I'm not doing the Arsenal game, Shadow Games, because I'm on TalkSport at 7:30 and I actually have to eat and socialise a little bit. I can't just stream from midday till 9 o'clock at night. Avengers movie or the Star Wars original trilogy? No one cares about that, son. I'll wander into film polls if it's credible. I couldn't give a shit about Marvel and Star Wars in that sense. Yeah. I mean, yeah, the giraffe can kick real hard, says Mayo. And TalkSport, thank you very much. Would you say that Man City versus Liverpool was a bit underwhelming, says Yamin? Well, I certainly think that the Newcastle-Chelsea game is way better. And why is that? Well, I think it's a number of reasons, really. I think that... Brendan, thank you very much for your super chat. I think it comes down to the fact that it's really difficult for these teams to play at 12:30 when they've had 2 weeks of no training and working together. And a game of that enormity also brings a lot of pressure with it. I mean, you could play it in 2 weeks' time at 4:30 on a Sunday and it might not be as good, but I think it was a scrappy game and I think Liverpool will be very, very happy with a point. Whereas I think this Chelsea-Newcastle game is a little less pressure on it, and Newcastle at St James's Park always try to play on the front foot, and that means it'll be a little bit more open on the break for Chelsea. So I think it's just been a better game, really. You blocked me today earlier, mate. I mean, I've been a fan for years, Andy Bull. I haven't blocked anybody today, so I don't know what you're talking about. Would you ever go on I'm a Celebrity, says Aran. No. I don't think they could pay me enough to do it, really. And that's not being rich. Not talking about that. Favourite porn category says Bloody Civilian. Yeah, I'm not answering that either. Avengers movie, done that. And also, I can't remember what I was answering now. Roy Keane or Eric Jemba says Taylor. That's just silly. And Mark, who would win, a megalodon versus a sperm whale, says Brendan. These are weird. And Foden will never be world class, says Mike. And is Donny van der Beek gone from United in January, says Max. Another boring question, yes. And Pulp Fiction is so overrated, says Michael. I went to watch Pulp Fiction in the summer in the cinema. It's not underrated. I love it. Very, very good film. Which animal is most suited to centre mid? No human, says Big. Sometimes I just want to have a grown-up conversation about football. Ellie Carter says Pulp Fiction and The Gladiator are both phenomenal films for different reasons. Pulp is dialogue and storytelling masterclass. Gladiator has an amazing central performance from Crow. Are you not entertained? I certainly was. Batman or Superman? I prefer Batman, PJ. Will Arsenal win today? I do fancy Arsenal to win today, A6, and therefore they would be top of the league. I think, look, Arsenal are sort of reaping the benefits of beating Man City at the Emirates and then Chelsea and Liverpool getting draws against Man City. It's allowed Arsenal to, make hay. And they've got to go to Brentford and make hay today. I think they will win. I actually think Arsenal might win that game 3-0 or something like that. I mean, I might be miles off. I'm not disrespecting Brentford, but I just fancy Arsenal today to go and win that game quite comfortably. Birmingham have equalised against Sheffield Wednesday, by the way. They must have done that right on half time. But yeah, I fancy Arsenal to win today. And I think they need to win today. And I'm not saying I want Arsenal to win the league, but I think it would be good for the league if Arsenal were to win and create a real atmosphere. Not atmosphere, real title race. Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings, which is better, says Kathy. I think I'd go Lord of the Rings on that one. Mark, best PS5 game apart from FC24, says Nihal. Fall Guys. Chelsea squad depth is unreal and they still got to add Nkunku, says Leroy. And what will be more likely to come first? Everton relegated or Everton in the top four, says Dance 1211. Well, I don't think you're going to get top four anytime soon. I don't think you're going to get relegated either. I suppose if I had to pick, I'd probably say you're closer to relegation, so there's more chance of that happening. But I don't see that. I don't see that happening. Either way. Who wins in a fight? Sean Dyche or Jurgen Klopp? I wouldn't go against Dyche. And Chelsea might be the most entertaining team this season in whole of Europe. Mate, you need to watch more football. You definitely need to watch more football. When do you put your Christmas tree up, Mark? Says Rachel. Rachel, thank you. And who says, let him speak, Simon? Better, you or Jim? Let him speak, Simon. Simon. I think the original GOAT does it better than me. Simon, let him speak. Why do you think people underrate Varane so much? Says Take Mattit. Just laziness, really. Sheffield United have a 0.02 XG first half at home versus Bournemouth, says Cole. Andy Bull, welcome to the members club. Well, let me just give you a bit of insight into the half times here, because obviously there's a few 0-0s. So 0-0 between Burnley and West Ham. Burnley have had more shots and more shots on target, but it's very equal on possession. Luton against Crystal Palace is 0-0 at half time, and Luton have had one shot on target to Crystal Palace's 4, who've had nearly 60% possession. So Crystal Palace definitely having more of the game there. Sheffield United at home to Bournemouth. Let's not forget, Bournemouth are a team that Sheffield United, if they want to stay up, need to be beating. They are no shots on target, and Bournemouth had 5. I mean, looking at this, if I get it up for you here, I'm going to talk about the Christmas decoration things in a minute because I do like that sort of conversation. But looking at the, let's have a look at this. We don't do this enough, and we can't be elitist, as I keep getting told on the podcast. You're only interested in the top half of the table. So here we go. Look at that. That's the bottom of the league table at the moment, yeah? Tell me we're not about to have the shittest relegation fight in years. Everton are only there because they had a 10-point deduction. If Everton hadn't had the 10-point deduction, they're above Forest. And as soon as Everton win a few games, they'll be out the relegation zone again. Sheffield United are getting beaten at home by Bournemouth. Luton are getting dominated by Crystal Palace at home. And Burnley, well, we thought Burnley would do better. We're going to end up in a situation very, very soon where Burnley, Sheffield United and Luton are cut adrift. They'll be cut adrift. They'll be 8 points away from safety. It's not good for them, is it? Your best individual player season ever in the Prem? Zach. I think Ronaldo 07-08 or 08-09. I get mixed up. 07-08, probably Ronaldo, yeah. The year he won the Ballon d'Or was just incredible. Do you think Palmer's overrated? Says XD. I think he's a young player who's got to be given time to adapt. It's 51% Gladiator and 49% Pulp Fiction at the moment. I'll keep it open for a little bit. But it's interesting this. It's football related and it's Christmas related. It's the 25th of November. On the 25th of December, it's Christmas. When do you put your Christmas tree up? Now, for me, Friday is fine. The 1st of December is absolutely fine. The radio I listen to goes exclusively Christmas songs on Monday. That's fine. Monday is the 27th. That's fine. Christmas, December the 1st, put your decorations up. It's fine. I was down in London on Wednesday doing a shoot and I got picked up at about 6 o'clock in the morning and I'm listening to Radio 5 and they've got, not my choice, the driver's choice. And they're talking about when is it acceptable to put your Christmas decorations up. David Seaman's on and says, yeah, we've had ours up for a week already. And that was on Wednesday. So Wednesday was the what? 22nd or something like that? Maybe the 21st? 24th, 23rd, 22nd. So he's had his up since the middle of November. Then they get people phoning in. Because it's the radio, right? Somebody said, as soon as the Halloween decorations go down, the Christmas stuff goes up. So the 1st of November. Then somebody rings in and says, I put them up early when COVID was on just to cheer everybody up. And we've not took them down since. And I thought, I think her name was Rita or something. I thought, imagine going Rita's house in the heat of a summer heat wave, and you walk into you walk in to get a drink, and there's the Christmas decorations on. I mean, come on, that's mental illness. That's a problem. You can't have your Christmas decorations up in the summer. That's just stupid. So look, my big problem with Christmas decorations is this. Miserable bastards, right? People put their Christmas decorations up too early and then they're the twats on Boxing Day saying, I took it all down, I feel great. I've given it a big clean, I feel great. I don't mind, it's not to do with me, I don't mind if you want to put your Christmas decorations up on November the 1st, but don't take them down till January the 6th. It's the people who take them down on Boxing Day that piss me off, because that period from Christmas to New Year is, I think, the best week of Christmas. Everybody's off, everybody's chilled out, everybody's having drinks and stuff like that. To me, as long as you're going to keep it up to the January the 6th, you can put it up when you fucking like. But don't put it up on the 1st of November and then take it down on the 26th, because that's knobhead behaviour. That's where I jump in and say, you're a dick. You're an absolute dick. I'm not interested. And you know what? You see these people posting it on social media. I've had my tree up since the middle of November. And then they take it down on December the 26th. And you feel like going, you don't deserve to have a tree. It should be reported. There should be there should be like the RSPCA for animals. There should be the Royal Society for the Protection of Christmas Trees, RSPCC, which is probably something else. It's RSPCT or whatever it is. I don't know. Yeah, I like Carl Ross. Put it up on December the 1st, take it down on January the 6th. That's the GOAT method. That's the GOAT method. If you're taking them down the day after Boxing Day, you're a prick. Sorry. How many goals do you think Nkunku will have by the end of the season, says Fraser? He could do double figures. He could do double figures if he, if he can stay fit. I mean, I do think there's goals in that Chelsea side. I think Jackson lacks composure. I saw a skeleton with a Christmas hat today, says Savage. Well, I mean, this is another thing. It's been and gone now, Halloween. I mean, I've just realised I am wearing a Christmas jumper in November, so I'm a bit of a prat, and it has technically got a Christmas tree on it. But that's only because it's our Black Friday sales, and if you want to get your Christmas jumpers through the United Stand, then check out United Stand Shopify. We do ship worldwide, but Halloween didn't even really used to get celebrated that much when I was a kid. Nowadays, people have Halloween decorations up from October the 1st. Halloween decorations. That's, you know, that I wouldn't be surprised in my lifetime if we started seeing Christmas decorations going up on September the 1st. I wouldn't be surprised if we moved it. I wouldn't actually be surprised if somebody somewhere says, let's have a summer Christmas. Let's see what it's like. I mean, they've done it with the World Cup. We've had a Winter World Cup. It was always in the summer. Let's try a Winter World Cup. I would not be surprised if they tried a summer Christmas at some point. Let's have a summer Christmas where it's a barbecue. Yeah. Christmas 2028 will actually be on June the 25th. Yeah, instead of turkey, it'll be barbecues and swimming pools. And yeah, we don't need. We'll save on Christmas trees, and everyone can just have cocktails and ice beer. That's what they do in Australia. I wouldn't be surprised. Nothing would surprise me about society these days. Second half is just about to start. Let's get the timer ready for you. Who's going to win this? Well, I hope Brighton win. I really want them to start bouncing back, but how many one-goal leads have Brighton given up? Oh, there's been a goal for Burnley. Burnley have scored 1-0. A penalty for Jay Rodriguez. That doesn't help me out because I've got Areola. I've got Areola in my team. And he's conceded. I can't get the goalkeeper right on FPL. Just can't do it. Rodriguez scores for Burnley. Well, that'd be a massive, 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 massive result for Burnley if they get it. I know they're at home. Yannick says, who's been the better side, Goldbridge? I would have to say that it's been quite equal. I think Chelsea have been a threat on the break. Lascelles has just gone and got himself booked, holding off Jackson. And it's a good free kick position for Sterling again here. Dork says, if you had to have Christmas with 4 non-fictional characters from history, who would it be? Wow, I think Sir Alex Ferguson is not dead yet, but I'd love to have I'd love to have him around for Christmas. So, can I have people who are still alive? I would have Sir Alex Ferguson. I've got to have 4. Sir Alex Ferguson, Winston Churchill, Pocahontas, for diversity, and probably Michael Jackson, just to ask a few questions. Curiosity. I've got Michael. Just before you start tucking into your turkey, we've got some questions, and I've got Winston Churchill, Pocahontas, and Sir Alex Ferguson here to. They get, you know, we just want to know the truth. We want to know the truth. You know, once the dinner's over, you're dead anyway because you're only here for the dinner. Like, that's the rules. I'm allowed to have you back for Christmas, so you're gone again afterwards. Tell us the truth. What happened? Yeah, I knew it. Cubed says, I just have 4 Playboy bunnies. You're not eating your turkey, are you? You're thinking about something else. What's your go-to topping on a baked potato, says Bailey. You know what? I do like cheese, beans, and a bit of coleslaw on the side. But then I once had chicken tikka in there. That was lovely. You can't go wrong with chili and cheese as well. I mean, if it's a good quality jacket potato, there's not that many fillings I don't like. I mean, I even like tuna mayo with a bit of cheese in there. I think I'd probably have to go. I'm salivating here. I think I'd have to go. If it's a good jacket potato that's not too hot, you don't want it too hot because that you can't eat it. You don't want to burn your tongue. But if the potato's just warm, chili, cheese, sour cream, sprinkle some spring onion on the top, yabba dabba do. That's it. Cheese and beans, says Gems. There we go. So, Burnley are leading against West Ham with a penalty scored by Jay Rodriguez at the start of the second half. Brighton still lead 2-1 against Forest. Bournemouth lead 2-0 against Sheffield United. Crystal Palace still 0-0 against Luton. Dreams can come true, Luton. And obviously it's 1-1 here. Ugh. Mansfield have just equalised against Swindon. Get in. I don't care, really. Mark, I'm currently doing a presentation on VAR for my GCSE English speaking and listening unit. Nathan, that sounds really interesting. I'm not even taking the piss. I had to do bloody Romeo and Juliet. Luke would have Lee Harvey Oswald round, but yeah, for a question. Chicken mayo and sweet corn, says Brandon. Yeah, but sweet corn's all fine and dandy, but it disagrees with some people. It comes out the same way it goes in. Looking the same, that's what I meant. Newcastle are playing very dirty, says Shane. Oh, all the Christmas films are coming out now, aren't they? What's the best Christmas film? Get in the chat. Tell me what's your favourite Christmas film and why. It could be like Miracle on 34th Street because I watched it with my gran and she died straight after. Like that is a reason. 3-0 to Bournemouth. It's always the grans, isn't it? They are susceptible. It's 3-0 to Bournemouth. I think. I'll give you the goal scorer. It is 3-0 to Bournemouth. We're just waiting to see if it's going to get given or not. It's Tavernier again. Marcus Tavernier again. Sheffield United manager is surely going to be... We thought we might get to December without a Premier League sacking, which must be some sort of record. But I don't think we're going to get there. I think the Sheffield United goalkeeper could be heading... Sorry, not the goalkeeper. Well, the goalkeeper as well could be there. We're only 10 subscribers away from 63,000, by the way. Please do subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. But, yeah, I think he might be heading towards the sack. Gremlins is a good Christmas film, John. I like it. Love Actually, says John. I always do watch that, to be fair. Jingle All the Way. Never been a big fan of that, Neil Jones, to be honest. Home Alone 2 versus Home Alone 1 poll, says Brian. Let's do it. Gladiator beat Pulp Fiction by 51% to 49%. Either or. Home Alone 1 against Home Alone 2. I mean, they're both very good. I mean, as far as standalone Christmas films, they work. Die Hard's great. Love it. Love it. Polar Express. Men Behaving Badly Christmas Special, says Tony. I haven't watched that for ages. Sterling's in the box. Well, I think you've always got to think with Sterling, Raheem Speedo Sterling, that there probably was a dive in there, but referee didn't give it. Mark, do you consider Die Hard a Christmas film? 100%, Max. 100%. It's set at Christmas. There's Christmas music at the end. There's a Christmas tree in it. It's got to be a Christmas film. Lethal Weapon is technically a Christmas film as well. I'll tell you what, I did watch a film a couple of years ago, and it must be really, really niche, because I can't even remember what it's called. But it had Mel Gibson as Santa, and it was sort of like a cross between John Wick and the Santa Claus. It was actually quite good. I just don't remember the name of the film. Andy Bulls just gifted a membership. Thank you very much, Andy. That's Clarky says it's called Claus. It's on Netflix and well worth a watch. I might watch it again. It was very good. Instead of summer Christmas, they celebrate Easter a bit more and with much more excitement. Just needs to package it like Christmas and make it exciting, says Ronald. Yeah. Honey Badger versus Macaulay Culkin, says Roberto. I think that... I think the Honey Badger might win that one. Star Wars Christmas special. I tried to watch that once. It wasn't the Christmas special. It was a holiday special, wasn't it? National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation is brilliant. Brilliant. I've got most of these. I've got most of them, actually. You need to start... The thing is, you do need to start watching them now, because if you don't watch them now, you're never going to watch them after Christmas. And, you know, you get so busy, a lot of people, that there's so much to watch, you have to start watching it in late November or you won't get through it all. I think sometimes in previous years, I've left it late. I've gone, I won't start watching them till about the 10th, and you don't get time to watch it all. Another yellow card here for Conor Gallagher. Chesterfield winning against Eastleigh. They're running away with the National League this year. I miss your movie watch-alongs, Mark. Any coming, says Thunderland. I haven't done one in ages. You have to do it on Twitch. And Rambo First Blood. Oh, that is a Christmas film. It happens in... Rambo First Blood is a Christmas film. Yes, Ali. I'm the god of... I'm not God. I'm the guy who tells you whether it's a Christmas film or not. I'm a definitive on this. You're definitely right. In fact, if you're looking for a good Christmas film to watch tonight with a bit of difference, watch Rambo First Blood. What's for dinner? I'm having burgers tonight, Jack. Toon Barmy says, how could Southgate make comments about lack of Premier League experience for Gordon and not being ready, then pick Cole Palmer for England? Because he's a prat. Heath Ledger Joker or Joaquin Phoenix Joker? I mean, I prefer Dark Knight, so I'll just go with that. Man United playing bottom of the league Everton, says Mohammed. It is a quirk of fate, but it's factually correct. Newcastle got a chance to put a cross in here. Remember Yagadou in Fall Guys. We'll never forget Yagadou, Luke, in Fall Guys. Lost 2 finals last week. That'll live with him forever. If you know, you know. An early Crimbo present for whomever got it, says Andy Bull. Thank you very much, Andy, who gifted a membership. Legend. It's called Fat Man, the film with Mel Gibson in it. Let me have a look where it is to what. This is a Goldbridge film recommendation. Give it a watch. I enjoyed it. And It's free of charge on Amazon Prime. Fat Man. With Mel Gibson. It might also be on Netflix as well. There you go. Write it down. Fat Man. Festive and action. What more do you want? I'm surprised you can call it that in these modern times, but that's what it's called. Good recommendation here from Internet Explorer. It says Backdoor Sluts 9 is good. Don't know what that would be about. Is it Christmas themed? Got a penalty coming in for Brighton here. Who takes the penalties for Brighton? I think, is it Gross? I just get a feeling Gross takes them. There's going to be a winner in this Newcastle-Chelsea game, I'm telling you. And it's going to be a great win for somebody and a bad loss for the other side. Yeah, Chelsea, I'm going to say this again, and I'm going to say it just to make sure everybody hears it. Put a decent striker up front for Chelsea and they change overnight. Like, they've got the components, but they need a striker. He's just not confident enough to lead the line in a team that wants to go into the top four. They've got to buy a striker. And I'll never understand with £1 billion why they never did. Well, it'll be daylight for Brighton if they score the penalty. Trading Places starring Eddie Murphy as Ace, as Pete. It is. Newcastle out on the wing. Cross comes in. That's a goal! It's 2-1! He's done it again! No, he's not. It's not. It's Lascelles, who is in my bloody fancy Premier League team. If Colwell doesn't come on, I've got points. He's on my bench. Lascelles is on my bench. If Colwell does not come on, then Lascelles does. This is massive. Remember this. This is massive. He's in my bloody team, but he's my first sub. Do not bring Colwell on. He will bring him on. He's bound to bring him on. This is huge for Newcastle. I mean, how do they keep doing this? I can't express how impressed I am by Newcastle. I think it's Gordon who puts the cross in, isn't it? Yeah, Gordon with the cross. Lascelles with the header. Yeah, it's Gordon with the cross, and it's Lascelles with the header. I cannot express how impressed I am with Newcastle. Like, you can't write them off at St James's Park. Man United have got to go there next Saturday. But you can't write them off at St James's Park. They're so good here. And Chelsea have got a massive job on now to even get a point. Scribble says Lascelles has a yellow, so he'll lose points. Yeah, but he just scored a bloody goal. VAR between Brighton and Forest. Oh, my life! It's 3-1! It's 3-1 here! Joel Linton's just scored! Chelsea are absolutely all over the place. They're disintegrating like a poppadom in a washing machine. It's all over the place. It's absolutely incredible here. The game is gone. Newcastle are 3-1 up. What happened there? I don't know. The last thing we saw, Lascelles was making it 2-1, and Chelsea have completely and utterly hit the self-destruct button. Conor Gallagher into Thiago Silva, he's just made a right mess. Thiago Silva with the assist to Joel Linton. He's had it into feet. I think he's tried to roll it back to the keeper. He's not made any impact at all, and Joel Linton has just buried it. I don't know what Thiago Silva's doing there. And it's 3-1. Well. This is a huge, huge win for Newcastle. Well, we say it's a win. It should be a win. Incredible stuff. In between all that, João Pedro has made it a goal for Brighton. They have got breathing space against Forest from 1-0 down to 3-1 up. It's 3-1 to Brighton at the City Ground, and it's 3-1 to Newcastle at St James's Park against Chelsea. Where is this Chelsea redemption that I predicted? I really did think Chelsea would be able to go and get something here. But bottom line, it's not easy, is it? After an international break to be away from home. And they're struggling here. Mark, I'm not doing that, FB. I'm not doing that about Lana Rhodes. That's it. Spoiled ballot paper says Joel Linton should have been sent off in the first half. Well, I just don't see a way back for Chelsea. I might be wrong, but I just don't see a way back for Chelsea. Why is Casido on the bench, says Ruben? I would imagine it's something to do with travel, but see, I'm always against that. I'm always against that. As a manager of a football club, you've got to put your football club first. And, you know, to me, that's putting him on the bench because he's played for his national team. When my priority must always be the Chelsea Football Club. I don't think Lavia has played a game yet. Imagine Wagons. No. Let's have a quick look at what's going on with my Fantasy Premier League team. I don't think there's been major changes. I just don't want Colwell to come on. Lascelles got 7 points. Ferguson's only got 5. He's got 1 goal. Oh, if Colwell doesn't play, I'm laughing. But there's a long way to go. He'll probably bring him on for the last 2 minutes, won't he? Crystal Palace are winning against Luton. I was, to be honest, that goal's been inevitable for ages. It's been coming for a long time. Luton losing at home to Crystal Palace. It's just, I just look at Sheffield United and Luton, and I'm not being disrespectful, but they're just not good enough for this league. Well done for getting promoted, but they're just not. This is the Premier League. The quality gap is too big. It's Edouard who scored. I fancied him to score today as well. I wish I'd put him on my Goldbridge game. I did fancy Edouard today. I wish I'd said that. Have I got any goal scorers today? Calvert-Lewin, Hwang Hee-chan, Jesus, Alvarez, Watkins. That's your pizza. It's not my pizza. We've got someone to get that for me. Don't you worry about that. What was we talking about before that? Newcastle 3 is what we're watching. Brighton 3 against Nottingham Forest. Sheffield United 3. 0 down to Bournemouth. He's bringing on subs here, but none of them are Colwell. He's bringing on Mudryk, Casido, and Broha. Get in. No, 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 no. We don't want to see Colwell coming on here. This would be a travesty for my Fantasy Premier League. Palace goal has been disallowed, says Zodiacs. It has. It's still 0-0. in the 69th minute. Not pleasurable for Palace, that. Mike says, thanks for setting the dog off. Yeah, I'll turn that off in future. Frank wants Colwell to come on. Bloody well done. I've played the game. Well, look at the stats there on the left-hand side. 50-50 possession-wise. But Newcastle have done more. Well, have they? It's been a very equal game. I just think this is one that Chelsea are going to have to take on the chin here. I think you just got to take it on the chin. Treble substitution, Broha, Casido and Mudryk. It's a tough place to come to Newcastle. He's got to try and get back into it in the last 20 minutes. United have dropped down to 8th as it stands. How? How? Oh, right. Brighton and Newcastle. Yes, okay. That's why. We'll beat Everton tomorrow. We're all confident about that. Chelsea in the Mudryk, says S1. Well, we're in for a very interesting last 20 minutes here. Burnley beating West Ham's a big result if that can happen. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. We are very close to 63,000. Bottom right-hand corner to do that. Get involved with That's Football. We've got another watch-along for you tomorrow. Spurs against Aston Villa. Looking forward to that. We have daily content for you anyway. Little match reactions and topical stuff. Thankfully, we've had no massive VAR moments today, which is that hopefully going to be the way forward. I'd love to think so. I'm not so sure yet. The proof will be in the pudding. And Tuesday night, I'm doing Newcastle again against PSG in Paris. What a game that is. 8 o'clock on Tuesday night, PSG against Newcastle. We'll be doing that. Wednesday night, I'll be on the United stand at a ridiculous time for a Champions League game. 5:45 against Galatasaray. But it's a massive, massive game. I've played the game, and that's a massive game. Yeah. That's all I've got to say about that. Home Alone Original beat Home Alone 2 comprehensively. 73% for the original and 27% for the sequel. I probably should have been a bit closer, if I'm being fair, but I would have gone with the original. Can Chelsea get back into this? I don't think so. Not at 3-1. Arsenal lineups come out. Let me get it for you. Into the box there. Luton have scored. Oh my God. It's written in the stars. They went 1-0 down. They went 1-0 down to Crystal Palace. The goal was chalked off for VAR. They've done very little in this game, Luton, apparently. It's been all Crystal Palace. But Luton have scored, and it's Mengi, formerly of Manchester United. Teden Mengi has scored a goal for Luton. This would be massive. Edouard's goal was disallowed for handball in the build-up in the 67th minute. 5 minutes later, Luton are leading 1-0 at home to Crystal Palace. Burnley are leading as well. This would be massive points for them. United MUFC says, say sorry to Luton, Mark. No. Because they've not won yet. It's that Man United stuff, isn't it? What's next for Chelsea, Mark? A home tie against Brighton. And then an away tie against Man United. So it doesn't get any easier for Chelsea. Tyson says, Ben Foster's mates coming in clutch again for win, lose or draw. Oh my God. I'm telling you, Luke, on win, lose or draw, on the football fill-in, I think he's got magical powers. How he's picking these, I just do not know. Did he pick Luton to beat Palace? Bloody hell. Bloody hell. I can't speak. The Arsenal lineup, by the way, is Ramsdale in goal because Raya can't play because it's against Brentford. Tomiyasu, Saliba, Gabriel, Zinchenko, Odegaard, Rice and Saka. Jesus, Trossard, Martinelli. So Saka playing in the midfield, which is an interesting one, we think. Yellow card for Reece James here. I think there's a goal at Palace. It might have been short-lived. Oh, Reece James has been sent off. Second yellow card. Forget about that. Trossard might be in the midfield, says Christian. Reece James gets the ball, miscontrols it, catches him. He can't really argue, can he? He does catch him. It's not good here. It's not good. This league is wild, says Max. Crystal Palace have equalised, by the way. It was very, very short-lived. Alisi scored 3 minutes later to level things up. Oh, Luton. You see, that's why I didn't apologise. That's why I didn't apologise. What's going on with Chelsea? That's the question. 3-1. Down to 10 men. Is Pochettino in trouble? Well, I don't think Pochettino should be in trouble, but the amount of pressure that gets put on to Ten Hag, I think maybe he should be in trouble. You know, we pile this pressure on to Ten Hag, or the media does. I mean, Pochettino, how long does he have to get given before things start to improve? Cole Palmer. Oh, no! No! Reece James, you're an absolute prat. Cole Palmer's been subbed off for Colwill. That is absolutely bloody annoying. So Colwill comes on. He was in my starting lineup. And Lascelles, who was on the bench, who would have been in my starting lineup in FPL, now stays on the bench because Colwill's come on because Reece James got sent off. Absolute twat. This is why I don't play FPL. It's a game for prats. It's a stupid game of luck. Oh, kiss my arse. That's just very, 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 very disappointing. I did not deserve that. Disgrace. It's a disgrace. Oh, wow. You know, at the end of the day, when all's said and done, what can you do? What can you do? But Newcastle could get another goal here. Great save by Sanchez. Cucurella here is complaining about something. I think it might be is it a penalty? Is it a free kick? I don't know what's going on here. Is he giving a free? It's a good save by Sanchez. It's going to be a good win for... Oh, yeah. No, it's a free kick. A free kick. I thought it was in the box. I'd sort of lost my... I sort of lost it. Watch the bloody game, says Addy. Swivel on it, Addy. I was looking at something else. Dunks had a red card, says Bavy. Well, there's twists and turns. I mean, Forest could come back with 13 minutes at home. Reece James sent off in this game. It was a free kick. It wasn't in the box. Dunks red is stinky, says M. Anthony Taylor back at it again. Casido is awful, man. Well, I don't know what this red card is for Brighton, but Forest have got a penalty, which could make it 3-2. Gibbs White. There's something about Brighton. They're just massively unlucky, aren't they? They've made it 3-2, and they've got 15 minutes here. Oh, is it dissent? I think, does he give him a second yellow for dissent? Is it dissent? I don't know what goes on. I don't know what goes on. Evan Ferguson gets a yellow. Forest have got 2 yellows in a minute. 1 for dissent, says MHB. So you've got a yellow card for dissent and then another one for dissent. Well, Anthony Taylor, let me just say, I've had people say that they've met the guy and it does exactly what it says on the tin. I think he raged at the referee for giving a yellow card. I wouldn't be surprised if Brighton... Well, I mean, it's the penalty that they get is silly because the cross comes in and he's never getting it. But I think VAR gives it. I think VAR goes back and gives the penalty to Forest for a cross into the box that was never ever going to get anywhere near the player. So it's a little bit like Rodri and Højlund in that sense. And I think that's what they've done. I think they've gone back and looked at a VAR penalty. Which is, I mean, the player's never getting on the end of it. I think it's VAR back at it again, as far as I'm concerned. Cole's just come in and got a yellow card. Great. Well, I'm just going to tweet this out as well. I'll tell you what, I think Brighton over the last calendar year have probably been screwed over by VAR more than Lana Rhodes has been screwed on the internet. Luton have scored again. No, they haven't. Oh, they have! Oh, my God. Well, I'll tell you what, one thing about the Premier League is it's very exciting. It's very exciting. Luton went 1-0 up. Crystal Palace made it 1-1. Guess what, people? Luton, with 6 minutes to go, have made it 2-1. Luton lead 2-1 here. Brighton were leading 3-1 at the City Ground. Forest have made it 3-2, and they're up against 10 men, Brighton, now. Chelsea are getting absolutely owned. This is over here, but keep your eye on everything else. Second goal, Brown. Brown has scored for Luton. Can they hold it out this time? And there's a goal coming in, I think a late equaliser. It's bad news for Burnley, we think. And Birmingham have got a late goal as well. Will, my co-host on the podcast, will be ecstatic. But I think we've got a goal coming in for West Ham. I think we've got a goal coming in for West Ham. They're in London, aren't they? I think Newcastle have scored as well. Flash Gordon. Chelsea are getting absolutely pumped here, says Parallel. Oh, it's terrible. That's terrible goalkeeping, and it's terrible defending by Badashil. I mean, I don't know what... You think about the goals that Chelsea have conceded today, and every one of them is shit. Every goal that Chelsea have conceded today has been appalling, considering the quality of defenders and their midfield. I wish Man United were playing them today. We play them in a week and a half. Absolutely shite. I mean, that's terrible defending by Badashil. It's not good goalkeeping by Sanchez. Obviously, Silva makes the mistake on the third one. The second one, they're not marking up. The first one, they're playing offside. It's terrible from Chelsea. I'd be absolutely furious as a Chelsea fan watching this today. Nothing up front and defensively and the midfield. And this is meant to be a weakened Newcastle side as well. You know, Newcastle were... I thought Chelsea would get something here today. I thought Newcastle were vulnerable. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. They've absolutely pummeled them. £1 billion spent, says Taylor. Exactly. Do you think Poch is going to lose his job, Mark? I wouldn't have thought so. But look, I said about Pochettino, he ain't this coach that everyone thinks he is. He's a good coach, but he gets mentioned like he's in the same category as a Klopp or a Pep, and he's not that level of coach. He did a very good job at Spurs and he did a very good job at Southampton, but he was poor at PSG. And he hasn't... Where's the pedigree that Pochettino is a top-level coach? It's more of a media-driven analysis than a reality. Solihull Moors are getting bantered, Mark. I know, they're losing 5-0. Altrincham. Three losses in a row. Conference League game on a Saturday, says Kevin. And Spencer says, Luton drew to Liverpool, gave United a fight. Now this, you should give them more credit. No, I'm not. Spencer, thank you. Burnley did equalise, by the way. No, they didn't. West Ham equalised against Burnley. Dara O'Shea with an OG has given West Ham a point there so far. I don't think Brighton are going to hold out here. Without Poch, these kids are useless, says JR. Will Gobby now talk about the squad worth of Chelsea waiting for the media pylon never to come, says Kay. Adrian says, Poch got spoiled with money. I think, to be fair, a lot of the money was spent before Pochettino came in. Oh, my God. You wouldn't believe it. Well, you better believe it. West Ham 2, Burnley 1. They've only gone and won it at the end, potentially. And another loss for Burnley. I mean, who's going to get the sack first? Will it be Sheffield United? Will it be Company at Burnley? It's a game they need to be winning. They were 1-0 up with 5 minutes to go. They're now 2-1 down. Thomas Soucek, 90+1. Burnley have shocked me this season. I thought the football they played in the Championship would transfer to the Premier League, and it's actually not. Poor performance. All my mates ripping me for this, says Josh Bishop. Thank you very much, Josh. Bye-bye Company, says Sir Eric Ten Hag. Well, I think it's difficult. I think it's different for Burnley because Luton and Sheffield United are living the dream by getting promoted. And they're obviously going to struggle to stay up. But Burnley had been a Premier League club for a long time. They got relegated for 1 year and then got promoted. But they're acting like they're Luton or Sheffield United. They should have more to it than that. I'm going to have to do a match reaction for this Chelsea game. Chelsea in crisis. I think you have to. I just think you have to. I think you know, sometimes I have to wheel those titles out. Chelsea in crisis. Brighton going to win, says Morgan. Look, the amount of points that Brighton have dropped this season, you can see Forest equalising. I'll be very surprised if Brighton win. Has Reece James ever played more than 3 games in a row, says Joshua? I think the problem with Reece James is that I always thought that Reece James was a really good right back and injuries have damaged his career. I've watched him a bit this season. I don't think he's even a good right back. I think he's maybe not playing enough football is damaging his talent. But, I mean, he needs to get back to being... I mean, injuries are always going to be a problem, but he's got to play better. 17-year-old Miley for Toon. What a player already, says Darren. Well, this is great for Newcastle. This is great for Newcastle. You've got injuries, you've got money, and then you've got young players coming in and doing all right. Leverkusen are still unbeaten, says Aston. Thanks for the watch along, says Loose Bolt. Thank you, mate, for tuning in. We're into the 90th minute in a lot of these games now. I think Forest Burnley is going to go with the latest of all. 88 minutes there, and there'll probably be about 20 minutes added on, knowing what we know. 5 minutes added on in the Newcastle-Chelsea game. I mean, there ain't no way back for Chelsea. It's just humiliation. Pure humiliation. But we've been entertained this afternoon. We certainly have. Cross comes in. Sanchez has got it. Bit of a push and shove going on with Mudryk and Richie here. Richie's going to get booked. Yeah, remember tomorrow I've got Spurs Villa watch along. I think that's going to be very interesting. I mean, I'm not going to jinx Villa because I feel the same as Newcastle Chelsea. I felt like Chelsea would get something here today. And I don't think that they are, obviously. So I'm not going to say Villa because I think it could end up being the same situation. Aaron Walker says, Poch in. This is beautiful. Louise is off. I've enjoyed the watch along. A lovely evening. Yeah, I'm on TalkSport at 7:30 if anyone wants to tune in on YouTube or call in. I think there'll be a lot of Chelsea fans calling in. Why there is no Poch scrutiny, but okay for Ten Hag, says Ali. Exactly. Exactly. You know, you look at that league table and how things are shaping up, and Chelsea have got 10th place. They've played 4. They've won 4, drawn 4, and lost 5. And if Brentford got a point against Arsenal, Chelsea would be in 11th. And if Wolves or if Palace had got something against Luton, they'd be down as well. It's if Wolves beat Fulham. I mean, Chelsea could drop places here. It's shocking. Poch is media friendly, says Stu. Yeah, but it's not Chelsea fan friendly, is it? Look, they've got Brighton at home next week, and then they've got Man United away. I think if he loses one of those, which he could well do, I don't think this Chelsea team travels well. And I think, you know, you'd fancy United to beat them at Old Trafford. And even Brighton, Brighton have got injury problems and they're playing on Thursday night, so they might get something against Brighton, but... Scroll down FC, says Yami. Well, they will be, yeah. Although it's a massive result for Luton. You've got to give them credit. You've got to give Luton credit. It's a massive result for them. Sheffield United will be looking at that very, very enviously. Anyone know how many minutes has been added on at between Forest and Brighton? Because we're about to end here. Arsenal could be top of the table tonight, Pullman, yes. Six minutes added on. Lewis says United will not beat Chelsea. Well, Lewis, who do you support? Because if you're a Chelsea fan, you're ridiculously optimistic. And it's Old Trafford, and Chelsea don't travel well. I mean, I would never guarantee that Man United. 10 minutes added on. 10 minutes added on in that one between Forest and Brighton. Arsenal Brentford watch along, says Charlie. No, I've been streaming since midday, and I've got to do a radio show at 7:30, so I've got to go and prep for that. So I can't do the 5:30 game today, unfortunately. But I fancy Arsenal to win that. Goldbridge predicts a comfortable Arsenal win. Doesn't mean I'll be right. Make sure you subscribe, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. Who would your man of the match be today? I think Gordon's played really well. A goal and an assist as well. Paul says, if I was an Everton fan, I'd be worried about Luton. Everton will be fine. Everton will be fine. They are 5 points from safety, though, with that Luton win. West Ham have beaten Burnley. It's finished 2-1. Everton fans will be going, oh, typical. We get the 10 points deducted and Luton go and start fucking winning. There's a goal coming in at Sheffield United. I think they've got a consolation here. Well, the thing about Everton is that might inspire them even more tomorrow, because a win doesn't get them out of the bottom 4. Luton were on 6 points. They're on 9 now. If Luton had lost today and Everton had won tomorrow, they'd be out the bottom 4. But they're now 5 points from safety, Everton, because of that Luton win. Luton's next few games: Brentford away, Arsenal at home, Man City at home, Bournemouth away. Everton's next few games: United at home, Forest away, Newcastle at home, Chelsea at home, Burnley away. Luton's not finished yet, says Coco's Revenge. Sheffield United did score a goal, by the way. Consolation goal, because it's over. The goal was scored by McBurney in the 97th minute. But it wasn't enough. Too little, too late. Forest are still pushing against Brighton. I'm going to end the stream there. I'm not going to wait around for Forest to get an equaliser against Brighton. I don't want to be responsible for that. Hopefully Brighton will hold out, but I'm not so sure that that will be the case. They've seemed to have been wronged again. But Chelsea have been wronged. I'm going to do a quick match reaction to that. I'm on TalkSport at 7:30. I'll speak to you all later. You've been a fantastic audience again. It's been a cracking time to have the Premier League back. Thanks everybody for tuning in. And I shall speak to you all a little bit later. And remember, we're back tomorrow as well with a live watch-along of Tottenham against Aston Villa, which I'm sure will be a big game. Speak to you all later. Thanks for watching.